Hello and welcome to yet another edition of Trends with LJE, where we bring you the latest and developing stories across Nigeria and Africa. Now, I am John Nkamiang, and I would employ that you do well to be part of our growing online community by hitting the follow, like, and share button right now on all platforms at LJE Nigeria. Joining me to dissect today's trending stories are Miriam Gamale and, of course, Gracie. One of the ladies on the bench. But it's nice to have both of you on this edition of Trends.
Thank you.
Right, without much ado, let's quickly get into our headlines. Court convicts Nnamdi Kanu on terrorism charges. Reps Obi Agwocha issues conciliatory statement, urges calm and unity following court judgment. Benue Governor refutes genocide claims against state. Army Chief Shuaibu visits Kebbi, orders go all out, rescue. Human rights lawyer slams Tinubu, says Nigeria in free fall. And NHRC warns dignity of human life, warning amid attacks. Now let's go into our developing story as the latest coming out from the Federal High Court in Abuja is that it has delivered a landmark ruling in the trial of Nnamdi Kanu, leader of the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra. Justice James Omotosho has convicted Kanu on all 7 counts of terrorism charges brought against him by the Department of State Service. In his judgment, the judge held that the prosecution presented sufficient and credible evidence to prove its case. He noted that Kanu failed to enter a defense and instead chose to rest his case on the prosecution's evidence. A gamble, the court said, left it with no option but to convict. Let's watch the ruling convicting Nnamdi Kanu on 7 counts of terrorism charges brought against him by the federal government.
Gazette number 99 in volume 104, dated 20th September 2017, titled Terrorism Prevention Order number Terrorism Prevention Order of 2017. The Gazette reads, and I quote, Notice is hereby given that by the order of Federal High Court in suit number FAC/ABJ/CS/871/2017, dated 20th September 2017, as per the schedule to this notice, the activities of indigenous people of Biafra are declared to be terrorist and illegal in any part of the country, Nigeria, Republic of.
The judge faulted Kanu's approach to achieve a Biafran nation by employing violence as a terrorist group. With sentencing now being awaited, the lead prosecutor, Adegboyega Awomolo, has urged the court to hand down a death sentence for the defendant. The senior advocate says count 1, 2, 4, 5, and 6 provides for the maximum penalty owing to the gravity of the offense. Awomolo expressed shock that rather than show remorse, the defendant has remained ever so unruly. The conviction of the IPOB leader marks a critical moment for both the government and the Southeast region. The ruling affirms the government's ability to use the nation's legal framework to counter threats to national security. The judgment concluded that all ingredients of the terrorist offense were made out by the prosecution, settling the stage for the next phase of the judicial process, which will determine Kanu's ultimate sentence. Rep. Honorable Agwocha, member representing Ikwano, Umuahia North and Umuahia South Federal Constituency, has released a measured and conciliatory statement in response to the intense public reaction that follows today's controversial court judgment. Agwocha acknowledged the strong emotions and concerns expressed by many citizens, noting that the ruling has deeply affected several communities. He affirmed his firm belief that the judgment deserves urgent appellate review, but underscores the need for all action to remain within the bounds of the law. He stressed that while judicial outcomes may sometimes be unsatisfactory, they must be challenged through established legal channels, not through actions that risk provoking unrest or escalating tension. Agwocha also appealed for constructive political engagement at the highest levels of government, emphasizing that issues with far-reaching national and regional implications require not only legal intervention, but thoughtful dialogue, empathy, and genuine statesmanship. He reiterated that the pursuit of justice must remain grounded in peace, unity, and a shared hope for a more harmonious Nigeria. Let's watch Honorable Agwocha, member representing Ikwano, Umuahia North, and Umuahia South Federal Constituency, as the court gave its ruling convicting Nnamdi Kanu on a 7-count charge of terrorism charges brought against him by the federal government.
I'm not his lawyer. I wouldn't know whether they will come to a closure for now. I'm not his lawyer. For now, the Lord. He's my brother. He's my friend. I went to school with him. We attended primary and secondary school together, though he was my junior. But it is my responsibility and obligation as a member of the National Assembly to represent him as well. The Lord, I plead for mercy, I plead for clemency, and I appeal for peace. For now, I'm not his lawyer.
Away from the High Court judgment of Nnamdi Kanu, which is still developing because reports have it that the final judgment will come at 4:30 Nigerian time. The governor of Benue State, Hyacinth Alia, has openly challenged claims suggesting that genocide, whether ethnic or religious, is occurring within the state. Speaking publicly, the governor, who is also a Catholic priest, insists that while Benue faces serious and persistent security challenges, those challenges must not be misinterpreted as the targeted extermination of any specific group. Governor Alia grounded his commitment to addressing the crisis in his moral and religious duty, stating, and I quote, "I am a reverend father. I am walking with the fear of God and the compassion of Christianity and humanity," end of quote. He stressed that he retains his commitment to the church and his faith despite his role in governance. His public refutation comes amid significant international pressure on Nigeria following the U.S. government's designation of the country as one of particular concern due to alleged religious persecution. Let's watch Governor Hyacinth Alia openly challenging claims suggesting genocide.
I'm a reverend father, so being in governance does not take that away from me. I am still a reverend father. I came in as a governor, as a reverend father. I am working with the fear of God and the compassion of Christianity and humanity. And at the end of the day, I'm still going back to the church as a reverend father and a good Christian. So that is for the record. We need to understand this. In my state of Benue, we don't have any religious, any ethnic, any racial, any national or state genocide. We don't have that. Do we have a number of insecurities in the state? Yes, we do. But it is not a genocide.
By addressing the issue directly, Governor Alia is attempting to control the narrative surrounding violence in his state, distinguishing generalized insecurity from internationally recognized acts of genocide. His statement serves as an official effort to calm tension and correct what he sees as a misinterpretation of the security dynamics in Benue State, even as he acknowledges the persistent struggle against violent attacks. At this point, I go to my female panel, and I want to start with Gracie, who has publicly acknowledged that Benue is her state. I would like to get your reactions, Gracie, to Governor Hyacinth Alia's comments, stating categorically that there has been no Christian genocide, ethnic genocide, or genocide of any sort in Benue State.
Okay. Him saying that there's no genocide or denying the fact that there is no genocide does not change the daily or the reality happening in Benue State. It does not stop the killings that is happening in Benue State. In fact, with all due respect, my governor, saying that or denying the fact that there is no genocide in Benue State it sounds like leadership protecting reputation than protecting the life of the citizens, than protecting the life of people in Benue State. Those mass burials happening in Benue State, is that a joke to him? Those people living in an IDP camp for years, is that okay? What is he going to call those things? Is that a joke? So why is he going to say there is no genocide when?
Well, he has acknowledged that there are insecurity challenges in Benue State.
Yes. So
it's not as if he is denying that lives have been lost, people have been displaced, but he's just categorizing the situation as not being
yes, but the fact is that there is killing in Benue State, right? So what is he doing? He's not okay, fine. Let's say okay, he's acknowledging the fact that there is killing in Benue State. So what is he doing to prevent those killing? We are all living in denial. He's not doing the right thing. If he's doing the right thing, at least the killing in Benue State is much. Every day we are having mass burials. So okay, he's acknowledging there is killing. So what is he doing? Mm-hmm. That is the question. What is he doing? Coming from a reverend father, that he's even saying there's no Christian genocide is even embarrassing. What is he doing?
Okay, Miriam, your reaction to Governor Ilia's comments?
It's really appalling and painful to see a leader who is supposed to protect his people coming to deny the pain his people is going through just for him to look good to some set of persons. Your people are in pain. Instead of you to stand up and speak the truth, you're trying to water down the situation, making it look as if, yes, so things are happening, but it is not the way they are making it look. That is so unfair. And he's a man of God. Many times I wonder, who called these men? Like, you just come and you say you're a man of God. Then when you're supposed to stand for the truth, you just decide to lie. So you look good to the people you think, okay, you should look good to them. It's really appalling. Very painful.
Well, Governor Ilia, I think the general statement here is, or the big question is, what is the life of the Benue people what under your administration? Moving ahead, the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Waheed Shaibu, personally visited the Maga community in Kebbi State to assess the situation following the recent mass adoption of students from the government's girls' secondary school. The Army Chief issued a direct and forceful command to the troops of Operation Fasan Yama, ordering them to go all out against the bandits and continue around-the-clock operations until all the adopted children are safely rescued and reunited with their families. During his visit, the Chief of Army Staff emphasized that the bandits' tactics of targeting soft locations must be countered with a superior military strategy, improving intelligence and sustained operational pressure. He directed commanders in the area to rely heavily on intelligence for targeted missions and to act professionally and decisively. General Shaibu stressed that the mission is not about protecting the military's image, but about the effective execution of their duty to find the students. In a key strategic move, the Army Chief met with local vigilantes and hunters, recognizing their deep understanding of the terrain. He highlighted the importance of their community collaboration, encouraging them to move into the remotest criminal hideouts and assuring them that soldiers would back their efforts. Shaibu condemned the bandits for trying to instill fear and disrupt education, vowing that the military would not allow such intimidation to succeed. reiterating that the safety of the adopted students remain a national priority. We'll take a quick break, and when we return, we will bring you the story of how human rights lawyer Dele Farotimi has slammed President Bola Tinubu, how the National Human Rights Commission has warned and hinted on dignity of human life amidst recent attacks. Do stay with us and keep sharing the stream.
Welcome to LJE Studio, where creativity meets production excellence. Whether you're shooting a podcast, hosting a live stream, recording interviews, or bringing your next big idea to life, we've built the perfect space for you. Everything you need to create premium content is right here. Come record, come create, come be inspired. Visit www.ljenigeria.org/LJE-studio or call 0705-245-3714 to book your session today.
Thanks for staying with us, and if you're just joining us, this is Trends with LJE. Human rights lawyer and prominent social critic Dele Farotimi has issued a damning critique of President Bola Tinubu's administration, warning that Nigeria is in a free fall due to the escalating and unaddressed insecurity across the nation. Farotimi pointed to recent atrocities, including the adoption of at least 25 students in Kebbi State and the killing of an APC chieftain in Zamfara, as clear evidence of the government's gross failure to protect its citizens' life and property. Farotimi went a step further, asserting that the government at all levels has not only failed miserably, but now stands credibly accused of complicity in the crimes being committed against humanity. He warned that this dereliction of duty and continuing failure to act threatens to plunge the country into full-scale anarchy. Directly addressing the head of state, Farotimi stated, and I quote, "The buck stops with you, President Bola Tinubu. Do we still have a country? I struggle to see a government." End of quote. The vocal condemnation, coming from a lawyer who has faced persecution for his activism, underscores the widespread public concern over the government's approach to security. Farotimi also referenced the recent U.S. designation of Nigeria as a country of particular concern, highlighting the international dimension of the crisis. His statement serves as a powerful call to action, demanding systemic reform and decisive leadership to address the scrutiny and security challenges that he argues are eroding the fast foundation of the Nigerian state. Miriam, how do you react to Dele Farotimi's position? Directly putting the president responsible, reminding him that the buck stops on his table.
A whole lot of Nigerians have always reminded the president that everything that is happening in Nigeria is his fault. It is coming from his end, but he's not doing anything about it. So many times I don't even know if the president is really getting this news that Nigerians, or is really hearing the cries of Nigeria, because a whole lot of us are talking. People are coming out, even the ones at the top, most of them are talking about this thing, activists are talking, and our president is still not doing anything. But the thing remains, we will continue talking, whether he's hearing it or not. We know that one day, they will answer us. We will not keep quiet.
Gracie, Farotimi says, Mr. President, and that government at all levels has failed, especially in the wake of the recent developments across Nigeria and in our country with regards to insecurity.
Exactly. When a respected human rights lawyer said Nigeria is a free fall, he's not just exaggerating. It's the daily reality that is happening day by day. From insecurity to inflation, from inflation back to insecurity, the whole Nigeria is in a mess. So instead of the government to fix their problem, they are making excuses for their own failure. Because this is not we have been saying this thing every day. But what is our president doing? He's doing nothing. He's doing nothing. Is it that he cannot hear us? Is it that he cannot hear the cry of his people, that he's keeping silence? So what woman rights lawyer is saying is right.
It's on point.
It's on point.
Well, the National Human Rights Commission, NHRC, has issued a stern warning stating that the dignity of human life is rapidly wearing out in Nigeria amidst the renewed wave of kidnappings, killings, and adoptions across various states, including Kebbi and Kwara. The Commission's Executive Secretary, Dr. Tony Ojukwu, SAN, highlighted the recent adoption of 25 schoolgirls in Kebbi and the killing of worshippers in Kwara as grave reminders of the danger facing the nation. Dr. Ojukwu questioned why Nigeria continues to battle ragtag Boko Haram and ISWAP terrorists since 2009 without conclusive success. He stressed that the government has a moral and legal obligation guaranteed under Section 33, subsection 1 of the Nigerian Constitution and various international charters like the African Charter and the Universal Declaration of Human Rights to ensure the safety and security of its citizens. He warned that incidents like the MAGA school adoption call into question Nigeria's commitment to the Safe School Declaration. The NHRC is demanding immediate action from the government to protect the rights to life of all Nigerians. Their demand include effective investigation and prosecution of perpetrators, adequate compensation for victims, and the strengthening of security measures to prevent future attacks. The Commission concluded by urging citizens to increase their vigilance and report of suspicious activities, assuring the public that it will continue to monitor the situation and make necessary recommendations. Well, that's all the time we have for this edition of Trends with LJE. My sincere thanks to Gracie and Miriam. Ladies, thank you so much for your contributions to the show.
You're welcome.
Don't forget to follow, like, and share at LJE Nigeria on all social media platforms to join the conversation and get updates on our next show. I am John Nkamia. Bye for now.